Received this comment on a video I had just put up not too long ago, and I wanted to share it with you guys because it was kind of interesting. And it says here that, sorry, I don't think my screen's going to rotate for this one. It says they are shutting gas stations down in some counties in California. I'm not sure of the effective date, but if you can't get gas, you can't have a gas vehicle. I watched the Placer County Board of Supervisors meeting where they voted. Now, I'm not saying that this is inaccurate or untrue, but I did look and try to find any proof of this on their website, and they actually had an area here where they had, let's see, I want to say a video library. Maybe I can find it on here, maybe not. But I went through and I searched through, and I couldn't find anything there regarding it. I did some Google searching. I don't know where the damn video library went. Let's see if it's oh, here it is. Meetings and videos. And I guess the link doesn't even work anymore. But like I said, I tried to find it and I couldn't find anything. But what I did find was similar instances and scenarios from other branches of government. Now, granted, this isn't California. This is Hammond City Council. And it says that they vote on overnight gas station closures. So, yeah, I mean, voting by county officials to close gas stations and shut them down. But this one here says dozens of Chicago area gas stations forced to slash hours over crime surge. Hammond, Indiana required gas stations to close from midnight to 5 a.m. And so this would be, from my understanding, a new ordinance that would essentially be, you would be voting for this ordinance. And it says that an Indiana town is requiring gas stations to close overnight in response to an uptick in violent crime. City leaders in Hammond, about 25 miles south of Chicago, voted 7-2 Monday in favor of requiring the gas stations to close between midnight and 5 a.m. The measure will affect 37 gas stations. City leaders said violent crime, often involving firearms, have occurred at gas stations late at night and in early morning hours over the last several years. And this is going to be similar to what we were seeing in big cities in like New York and Chase Bank and other banks closing down their bank branch ATM and their vestibules that have ATMs, because it was pretty much a breeding ground for crime. So they were like, you know what, we're going to close these ATMs overnight so that people can't get in and be harmed or be robbed or anything like that. But they weren't just closing down ATMs and banks. It was just like they were closing down these what are considered to be attractive nuisances for certain hours. I think pretty much anything that happens after midnight and before 5 is probably not going to be good. But the Hammond Mayor, Thomas McDermott, voiced his support of the ordinance after a murder that occurred at a gas station after 2 a.m. in July. And it says here that a lot of the crime taking place in our city happens after hours at gas stations. At gas stations, we've talked about this for a number of years, he said at the time. It was time to put my foot down and say this is enough. Gas stations located along freeways and toll roads have the option to petition to be excluded from the measure. The ordinance takes effect on November 1. So I think that's it for that one. So yeah, I don't know. Look, there's a Citgo gas station, same story. And I'm not saying that this is essentially what's happening in Placer County, but in response to this comment that I received, it's kind of like, all right, Let's think about this logically. Are they in fact really shutting down gas stations? Probably not. Could the county vote to shut down gas stations? Probably not. Would they really want to? Probably not. These are a source of revenue. The reason why gas is so expensive as it is because most of that money is going to taxes. If you ever analyze and see the price breakdown of fuel per gallon, it's going to taxes. This would ultimately take away from their earned revenue, creating more of a budget shortfall and deficit and an economic crisis for counties like Placer and others in California if this were to be true. And I'm not sure of the effective date, but if you can't get gas, you can't have a gas vehicle. Well, you can have a gas vehicle if you can't get gas. I mean, there's no stopping you from having a gas vehicle. It just would mean that it would be very, very difficult for you to operate said vehicle without proper planning. As you know, you would be in areas of no fuel availability. But whoever left a comment, if you can actually find a link to share with me of the board meeting where they voted, feel free to email it to me. My email is in the description. So, yeah, I'm not saying that this is, in essence, really gas stations being voted to be shut down. What I am saying is that this may be yet another instance of a misinterpretation of the message or what was actually being said or voted on or the reasoning behind it, and not something that I would want to rush out and just, spread as gospel and promote and sharing comments to make other people think or believe that that could possibly be a reality. Granted, there is a push for more electric vehicles and an EV grid of electric vehicles, EV vehicles. And California is probably going to be one of the strongest driving states to, no pun intended, to make that happen. But I don't think it's going to be at the cost of eliminating gas stations. I mean, they would literally be cutting off their nose to spite their face, given the fact that county vehicles use gas. You see what I'm saying? I think it's more of, okay, we're going to vote to shut down or close gas stations within a certain time because of a certain reason. Not to mention the mandate in the next few years for an EV push, which may actually change, as we are seeing evidence here that this is going to probably be modified because it just can't be done. It can't be reasonably accomplished, or for the fact that people can't afford it and the grid doesn't support it, especially California, is that the old gas-powered ICE internal combustion engine vehicles will still exist. They can still be driven. People can still purchase pre-owned used gas vehicles. So to say that they're shutting down gas stations, potentially maybe as part of this push for EV, literally makes no sense at all. Just saying.